Welcome. Welcome to a place of absolute stillness. Welcome to a sanctuary carved out of time just for you. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. There are no appointments to keep, no messages to answer, no expectations to meet. The world outside has continued its busy spinning, but here, in this quiet space, everything has slowed down. Everything has come to a gentle, rolling halt. Take a moment before we begin our journey to feel the support beneath you. Feel the mattress or the chair rising up to meet you. It is solid, steady, reliable. You can surrender your weight to it entirely. Let your legs become heavy, sinking into the softness. Let your hips settle deep into the cushions. Let your spine lengthen and relax, resting against the surface. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, releasing the tension of the day, letting it flow out like water, down your arms and out through your fingertips. Breathe in now, deeply, slowly, filling your lungs with the cool, velvet air of the night. Hold it just for a heartbeat, suspending time. And release, slowly, smoothly, like a long sigh of relief. And again, breathe in, gathering peace, gathering silence. And breathe out, letting go of thought, letting go of worry, letting go of the waking world. Tonight, we are going to travel back to a time of candlelight and stone walls and heavy fabrics and quiet hours. We are going to travel to the land of the Nile, to a time when the stars were the only map and the silence of the desert was the only song. We will follow the journey of a man named Sinuhe, but we will not speak of his troubles or his fears. We will only speak of his journey into peace. We will only speak of the sights and the sounds and the feelings of the ancient world. So close your eyes, let your mind drift, and let the story begin. Imagine now that you are opening your eyes in a room of stone. It is night, deep, middle of the night darkness. But it is not a frightening darkness. It is a cool, blue darkness. Moonlight is streaming in through a high, narrow window. A shaft of pale silver light cutting through the shadows. You are lying on a bed, a simple bed, a frame of wood strung with woven reeds. It is firm but yielding. You are covered by a sheet of linen, fine Egyptian linen. Feel the texture of it against your skin. It is cool, smooth, slightly crisp. It has been washed many times, softened by the water of the river, and bleached by the sun. It smells of clean air and faint, very faint incense. Frankincense, or perhaps myrrh, a scent of the temple, a scent of peace. You lie there perfectly still. You are Sinuhe, and tonight is the night you leave. But there is no panic in your heart. There is only a strange, deep calm. A feeling of inevitability, like a leaf that knows it must detach from the branch and float down to the earth. It is simply time. You push the linen sheet aside slowly. The fabric rustles, a soft, dry sound in the quiet room. Shh, shh. You sit up on the edge of the bed. Your bare feet touch the floor. The floor is made of limestone, polished, smooth, cold. The coldness travels up through the soles of your feet, sending a shiver of wakefulness through your body. It is a grounding sensation. It reminds you that you are here in the physical world. You stand up. Your body feels light, almost weightless. You move towards the small wooden chest in the corner of the room. The wood is dark, cedar wood brought from the mountains of the north. You run your hand over the lid. The grain of the wood is smooth, polished by years of touch. You open it. The hinges are well oiled. They make no sound. You are not packing for war. You are not packing for a trade mission. You are packing for a life of wandering. You take only what is essential. A cloak, a heavy woolen cloak. The nights in the desert are cold, biting cold. You will need its warmth. You lift the cloak, feeling its weight in your hands. It is thick, rougher than the linen, smelling of sheep's wool and lanolin. You fold it slowly, methodically. Fold over fold, pressing it down. Very slowly, the world begins to change its color. You are still lying in the hollow of the sand, wrapped in your heavy woolen cloak. The deep, inky blue of the night sky is beginning to thin. It is lifting, dissolving, fading into a pale, translucent gray. The stars, your silent guardians, are retreating one by one. They do not vanish suddenly. They simply step back, further and further into the depths of the sky, until they are gone. Only the morning star remains, low on the eastern horizon, a single bright diamond hanging in the waking sky. You feel the air shifting. The stillness of the night is giving way to the stillness of the dawn. The air is coldest now. It is a crisp, biting cold that touches your cheeks. But you are warm. You are safe inside your cocoon of wool. You take a moment to just lie there and witness the birth of the day. This is a sacred time, the time before the world wakes up. The sand around you is no longer a landscape of shadows. It is beginning to reveal its true form. You see the texture of the dune next to you, the tiny individual grains of sand, millions of them, each one a microscopic stone worn down by eons of wind. They are pale beige and cream and soft gold. They are waiting for the sun. You sit up. The movement is slow, stiff. Your muscles remember the walking of the night. You stretch your arms, reaching up toward the fading gray sky. You take a deep breath of the morning air. It is incredibly pure. There is no dust yet, just clean, sharp oxygen. You stand up. You shake out your cloak, sending a few grains of sand tumbling back to the earth. You pick up your leather bag. You pick up your water skin. It is lighter now than it was last night. You take a small sip, just enough to wet your lips, just enough to wake your throat. The water is cool. It tastes of the leather and of the river, a memory of the life you left behind. But you do not look back. You look forward, towards the east, towards the growing light. The horizon is beginning to glow. A line of soft, dusty pink is spreading across the edge of the world. It is soft at first, like the color of a rose petal. Then it deepens, turning to apricot and burnt orange. The colors bleed into the gray sky above, creating a gradient of infinite subtlety. You begin to walk again. Your shadow stretches out behind you, long and faint. You are walking into the light. The sand is firm under your feet this morning. The dew of the night has bound the grains together, creating a crust that supports your weight. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The sound is crisp, satisfying. You are the only moving thing in this vast expanse, the only witness to the sunrise. And then it happens. The rim of the sun breaks the horizon, a spark of intense golden fire. It is blindingly bright. It spills its light across the desert floor, instantly transforming the world. The gray is gone. The world is now gold, gold and amber and copper. The long shadows of the dunes are painted in sharp relief. Deep, dark valleys of shade and brilliant, shining peaks of light. You feel the warmth immediately. It touches your face. It touches your hands. It is a gentle warmth at first, a welcome embrace after the chill of the dawn. You close your eyes for a moment and let the light wash over you. You are drinking in the light. You are being recharged. This is Ra, the great sun god, rising to sail his boat across the sky. You are walking in his domain now, the domain of light. You continue to walk. The sun rises higher, detaching itself from the earth, floating up into the blue. The pinks and oranges fade, replaced by a sky of intense, vibrant turquoise. The day has truly begun. The morning hours pass in a blur of rhythm, step and step and step. You fall into a trance. The landscape does not change much, and that is a comfort. It is predictable. It is steady. There are no surprises here, only the endless repetition of the dunes. Rise and fall, rise and fall, like a solidified ocean. Sometimes you pass a patch of gravel, dark, flinty stones scattered across the sand. They click under your sandals. Click, clack, click. A change in the music of your walking. Sometimes you see a piece of petrified wood, a tree that turned to stone 1,000,000 years ago, lying on the sand like a fallen monument.
You wonder about the forest that once stood here, before the sand, before the silence. But the thought drifts away, carried off by the light breeze. You do not need to know the history, you only need to know the path. The sun climbs higher, and with it the heat grows. It is not a sudden heat, it is a gradual accumulating weight. You feel it settling on your shoulders, you feel it radiating up from the ground. The sand is beginning to warm up. You can feel the heat penetrating the soles of your sandals, warming the bottoms of your feet. You stop to adjust your cloak. You loosen it, allowing the air to circulate. You pull the hood over your head, creating your own personal shadow, a small cave of shade traveling with you. Inside the hood, the world is slightly darker, slightly cooler.
And the dawn returns to the edge of the bitter lake. You open your eyes slowly. The first thing you see is white, not the white of snow, but the white of salt. During the night, the moisture from the lake has crystallized on the ground. A thin, delicate frost of salt covering the mud, covering the stones, covering the hem of your cloak. It glows softly in the pre-dawn light, a ghostly landscape. You sit up and the crystals crunch softly, crinkle, crackle, a sound like breaking sugar. The air is thick with mist. A low, heavy fog hangs over the water. It obscures the other side of the lake. It obscures the horizon. You are sitting in a cloud, a damp, cool, silent cloud. You breathe it in. It tastes of brine. It tastes of the deep earth. It wakes you up gently. You feel the dampness on your face, tiny droplets clinging to your skin, refreshing, cleansing. You stand up, stretching your limbs. You are stiff from the hard ground, but it is a good stiffness, the stiffness of a body that is being used, a body that is becoming strong. You gather your things, your bag, your staff, your water skin, which is lighter now, much lighter. You know you must move on. This lake is a resting place, not a home. You look at the water one last time. It is gray and still under the mist, a mirror for the fog. You turn your back to it. You turn your face towards the east, towards the rising ground, towards the vast unknown lands of the Asiatics. You begin to walk, leaving footprints in the salt crust, marking your path. But soon the wind will come, and the mist will lift, and the salt will melt, and your footprints will be gone. You are moving through the world without leaving a trace, and this thought brings you peace. As you walk away from the lowlands, the ground begins to rise. You are leaving the sand dunes behind. You are entering the high desert. The geology changes. The soft, rounded shapes of the sand give way to hard, angular lines of rock. This is a land of structure, a land of bone. The ground is covered in flint and limestone and granite, stones of all colors, deep reds like dried clay, pale yellows like old parchment, veins of black volcanic rock cutting through the hills like frozen rivers. Your sandals make a different sound here. Clack, clack, crunch. It is a sharper sound, clearer. It echoes slightly off the canyon walls. You are walking through a wadi, a dry riverbed, carved by ancient floods. The walls of the wadi rise up on either side of you, tall, majestic cliffs, layer upon layer of rock. You can see the history of the earth written in the stone, lines of sediment compacted by time, millions of years stacked on top of each other, and you are walking at the bottom of it all, a tiny speck in the Grand Canyon of time. The sun rises higher, and the heat returns, but here among the rocks, the heat is different. It is not the suffocating blanket of the dunes. It is a radiating heat. The rocks absorb the sun and radiate it back out. You can feel the warmth coming from the canyon walls, like standing next to a giant oven that has just been turned off. It is a dry, baking heat. It dries your sweat before it can form. It dries your thoughts. You stumble slightly. Your foot catches on a root, a dry, twisted root of an acacia bush. You go down to one knee. The ground is hot, hard. You stay there for a moment, kneeling, breathing, looking at the dust. You see an ant, a single black ant, marching across the sand. It carries a seed larger than itself. It moves with purpose. It does not stop. It does not complain. It just carries its burden. You watch it for a long time, and you smile, a cracked, dry smile. If the ant can walk, so can you. You push yourself up using your staff. You stand. You dust off your knees. You look ahead. The heat haze is shimmering again, creating pools of silver on the track, mirages, lakes that are not there, rivers that flow backwards. You do not chase them. You know they are illusions. You keep your eyes on the solid rock, on the real path. You are tired, so tired. Your body feels heavy, like it is made of lead, but your spirit is light. You are floating inside your heavy body, watching it walk, watching it endure. Step, step, step. And then you hear a sound that does not belong to the stones, a sound that does not belong to the wind, lowing, the low, deep sound of cattle, moo, and the bleating of goats, maa. You stop. You think it is a mirage of the ears, a hallucination of the mind. You shake your head, but the sound comes again, clearer, closer. Clank, clank, the sound of a wooden bell. You look up towards the ridge ahead, and you see them, silhouettes against the late afternoon sun. Animals,
four-legged shapes grazing on the sparse scrub of the hillside, and behind them, men, tall figures wrapped in dark wool, holding long staves, the Bedouin, the people of the sands. You do not run, you do not hide, you are too tired for fear, and there is nothing to fear. These are the guardians of the desert. You walk towards them, slowly, openly. They see you. One of them points, a slow, deliberate gesture. They do not shout. They do not rush. They watch you approach. They see your Egyptian linen, dusty and torn. They see your face burnt by the sun. They see your dry lips. They understand. They know the desert. They know what it does to a man. You reach them. You stop. You can go no further. Your legs give way gently. You sink down onto the sand, surrendering. But before you hit the ground, hands catch you. Strong hands, rough hands, calloused by work and rope. But they are gentle, incredibly gentle. They lower you down. They prop you up against a saddlebag. A man kneels before you. He has a beard, dark and gray. His eyes are deep, dark brown, full of calm intelligence. He is the sheikh, the leader, the rhythm of the caravan.
The days turn into weeks, and the journey continues. But it is no longer a desperate flight. It is a gentle migration. You are traveling with the tribe now, moving north, moving upwards, leaving the harsh, baking ovens of the sand dunes far behind. You are riding on the back of a donkey, a sturdy, patient animal. Its coat is gray and soft. Its ears flick back and forth, listening to the wind. You feel the rhythm of its gait beneath you. Step and sway, step and sway. It is a rocking motion, hypnotic, comforting, like being in a cradle that is moving slowly across the earth. You do not need to guide the animal. It knows the way. It follows the one in front of it, a long, winding line of people and animals threading through the landscape. You can close your eyes as you ride, trusting the beast, trusting the tribe. You listen to the sounds of the caravan, the creaking of leather straps, creak, creak, the soft thud of hooves on hard-packed earth, thud, thud, the occasional jingle of a copper bell, ting, ting. It is a traveling song, a song of movement without haste. The air is changing around you. With every mile you travel north, the air becomes lighter. It becomes sweeter. The dry, dusty taste of the desert is fading. It is being replaced by something else, something moist, something fragrant. You can smell rain in the distance, not the angry storms of the desert, but soft, nourishing rain. You can smell soil, real, dark, living soil, and you can smell sap, the resinous, sharp scent of pine trees. You open your eyes. The horizon has changed. The flat lines of the wasteland are gone. Ahead of you rise the hills of Retgenu, the high lands. They are not jagged and angry like the red rocks. They are ruling, soft, undulating curves against the blue sky. And they are not brown. They are green, a deep, dusty, ancient green, the color of life, the color of rest. Your heart slows down. Your eyes drink in the greenness. After so much yellow, after so much white, the green is a balm. It cools your vision. It soothes your mind. You are entering the garden. 2. The forest of shadows. The caravan enters a forest. It is a forest of oak and cedar and pine. The trees are tall, immense. Their trunks are thick pillars of rough bark, dark brown and gray and silver. Their branches meet overhead, interlacing, locking fingers, creating a roof of leaves and needles. You pass underneath this canopy. The sunlight here is dappled, filtered. It falls in small, moving pools of gold on the forest floor. The temperature drops instantly. It is cool here, a permanent, refreshing shade. The air is trapped by the trees. It is still and heavy with the scent of pine needles. Breathe it in, that clean, sharp smell of the forest. It opens your lungs. It clears your head. The ground is covered in a thick carpet of fallen needles and leaves, soft, springy. The donkey's hooves make no sound here. Silence returns, but it is a green silence, alive, breathing. You hear the wind moving through the high branches, susurrus, a long whispering sound, like the sound of the sea, but far away. The trees are talking to each other, swaying gently, dancing in slow motion. You reach out your hand as you pass a tree. Your fingers brush against a cluster of pine needles. They are cool, smooth, may tickle your palm. You feel a sense of protection here. The trees are like guardians. They stand around you, sturdy and unmoving, watching over the path, watching over you. You are safe in the woods, hidden from the world, embraced by the shadows. The caravan moves slowly, winding between the trunks, deeper and deeper into the peace of the forest. 3. The Valley of Abundance. You emerge from the trees and look down into a valley. This is the land of Yah, the land of abundance. It is a bowl of fertility cupped in the hands of the hills. The sight is breathtaking, not because of grand monuments, but because of life. Everywhere you look, things are growing. Nature is spilling over, bursting with fruit, heavy with gifts. You see the vines, plants, rows and rows of vines terraced along the slopes of the hills. The vines are old, thick, twisted like ropes. They are heavy with leaves, broad green leaves that flutter in the breeze. And hanging beneath the leaves are the grapes, clusters of them, dark purple, almost black, pale green, like translucent jade. They are heavy with juice, swelled with the sun. You can imagine the taste of them, sweet, cool, bursting in your mouth. The smell of the grapes rises up to meet you, a sweet, fermented scent, the smell of late summer, the smell of harvest. Between the vines there are fig trees, short, spreading trees with wide gray branches. The figs are ripe, dark purple teardrops hanging from the stems. Some of them have split open, revealing the pink jam-like fruit inside. They are dripping with honey, literal honey, and the nectar of the fruit. Bees are humming around them, a low, drowsy hum. Zzz, the sound of a lazy afternoon, the sound of work being done by others so you can rest. You ride down into the valley. The air here is warmer than in the forest, but it is a gentle warmth, like a warm bath. It wraps around you. It smells of warm earth and ripe fruit and wild flowers. You pass an olive grove. The olive trees are the grandfathers of the valley. Their trunks are gnarled, twisted into fantastic shapes, hollowed out by time, yet still living, still giving. Their leaves are silver green. When the wind blows, the trees shimmer, one moment green, one moment silver, like a rippling wave of light. The ground beneath the olive trees is cleared, shadowy and cool, a perfect place to sleep, to lie on the dry earth between the roots and listen to the leaves. You feel a deep physical relaxation spreading through you. Your stomach. Season of white hair. Time flows like a river that widens as it nears the sea. The years have passed over the hills of Retjenu. Seasons have turned again and again. The green of the spring, the gold of the summer, the gray of the winter. A gentle, endless cycle. You are sitting now on the porch of your house, but you are not the same man who ran across the sand. You are older, much older. Your hair is the color of the moonlight, silver and white. Your skin is like old parchment, etched with the lines of the sun and the smile. You move slower now. There is no rush in your limbs. You have learned the great lesson of the trees, that growth happens in stillness. You sit in your cedar chair, cushioned with wool. Your hands rest on your knees. You feel the warmth of the late afternoon sun penetrating your bones. It is a comforting warmth. It eases the stiffness of the years. You look out over the valley. It is still fruitful. The figs are still ripening. The olives are still silver in the wind. But you know, deep in your quiet heart, that your time here is done. You have planted trees. You have built a family. You have seen your children grow tall. and your children's children running in the grass. Their voices reach you now like a distant melody, soft laughter floating on the breeze. It does not disturb you. It is the sound of life continuing. But you are ready for the silence. You feel a pull, a gentle, magnetic pull towards the south, towards home. It is not a sadness. It is a longing for completion, like a circle that must be closed. You close your eyes and you can smell the Nile. You can smell the incense of the temples. You can hear the specific silence of the stone corridors. Your spirit is already packing its bags, preparing for the final journey. And then the day comes, not with fanfare, not with trumpets, but with a quiet arrival, a messenger from the Pharaoh. He brings a scroll. You hold it in your hands. The papyrus is smooth, familiar. You break the seal. You read the words. They are kind words, words of forgiveness, words of welcome. Come back, the king says. Come back to the place where you were born. Do not die in a foreign land. A stone house has been prepared for you. The West is waiting. You smile, a slow, deep smile. You leave the hills. You leave the vineyards. You say your goodbyes, but they are soft goodbyes, because you know that everything is as it should be. You travel south, but this time you do not walk through the sand. You do not hide in the bushes. You travel on the water. You are on a royal barge, a great ship of cedar wood, with a sail of white linen embroidered with gold. You lie on a daybed on the deck, under a canopy of shade. The river flows beneath you, carrying you home. You listen to the sound of the water against the wood. Lap, lap, swish. It is the same sound you heard that night years ago in the small skiff, but now it is a sound of victory, a sound of peace. The boat rocks gently, a cradle of wood and water. You watch the banks of the Nile slide by, the palm trees, the mud brick villages, the temples. They are exactly the same. Time changes men, but it does not change the river. The river is eternal. The air gets warmer, heavier. The humidity of Egypt wraps around you. It feels like a warm towel, softening your skin, relaxing your muscles. You breathe in the scent of the black land, the rich, fertile mud, the smell of burning incense drifting from the shore, the smell of baking bread. It is the smell of memory. You are floating through your own past, drifting downstream towards the delta, towards the end. You arrive at the capital, but you do not go to the busy court. You do not go to the noisy markets. You go to the West Bank, the land of the setting sun, the land of rest. The king has given you a gift, a final gift, a pyramid of stone, a tomb. But it is not a dark place. It is a house of eternity. You visit the site. It is quiet here, far from the city, surrounded by the desert sands, but close to the green edge of the cultivation. The masons are finishing their work. You hear the sound of their chisels. Tink, tink, tink. A delicate sound, like a bird tapping on a shell. They are carving your story into the stone. You walk into the chapel of the tomb. It is cool inside, wonderfully cool. The walls are thick limestone. They blot out the heat of the sun completely. The light enters through small slits near the ceiling, a soft, diffused light. It illuminates the art on the walls. You look at the art. The colors are vibrant: turquoise, lapis lazuli, gold, ochre. You see yourself painted there, young again, strong again. You see scenes of the harvest, scenes of the vineyards of Yah, scenes of the river. The artists have captured your life. They have frozen it in time. Nothing will be lost. Everything you loved is here on the walls, preserved forever. You run your hand over the stone. It feels smooth as glass, polished to perfection. It feels permanent, solid, indestructible. This is your new home, a home that will last for millions of years, a home where you will never be hungry, never be thirsty, never be tired. You feel a deep sense of satisfaction. The work is done. The house is ready. The bed is made. You stand in the inner chamber, the burial chamber. It is the heart of the silence. In the center stands the sarcophagus, a great chest of red granite, carved from a single block of stone. It is heavy, grounding. It anchors the room. It is not frightening. It looks like a safe place, a fortress against time. Inside it is a smaller coffin, made of wood covered in gold leaf. It glows softly in the dim light. The face carved on the coffin is your face, but it is a serene face. The eyes are wide, looking into eternity. The mouth is curved in a slight smile, a smile of secrets known, a smile of peace achieved. You imagine lying there, inside the gold, inside the stone, inside the hill. It would be so quiet, so still. No wind, no voices, no change. Just an endless, deep, dreamless sleep, protected by the stone, protected by the spells carved on the walls, protected by the love of the gods. You feel a heaviness in your eyelids. Just standing here in the cool air makes you want to sleep. The atmosphere of the tomb is heavy with incense, myrrh, cedar oil. It is a sedative scent. It slows your heart. It slows your breath. You are standing at the threshold of the great silence, and it is welcoming you. It is opening its arms, like a mother welcoming a tired child. Come, it says, put down your burden, put down your story, rest. You leave the tomb for the last time. You go to your house in the valley below. It is evening. The sun is setting behind the western cliffs. The great disk of Ra is sinking into the mountain, turning the sky to a deep velvet purple. You lie down on your bed, your earthly bed. The linen is fresh and clean. The mattress is soft. You are very tired now. A good